Okay, engineering design folks, we're doing continuing along with our final project. Last week I gave you these custom templates and sheet formats, and we're going to throw another part in here. Just remind you to add sheets, you simply click on this. If the sheet format doesn't come up or you get an error, you can right click, go to properties, and you can browse and find that template that I gave you so it's the right sheet format. You also want to deselect in here. Let me just remind you how I got here. If we go and right click and go to properties, if you take this off and leave the default, then it's going to allow us to get those values in there for the material and the weight. So I'm going to open up another one of Archer's parts here. Let me just see if I can find something that's easy to demonstrate. This looks like an easy one. Let's go for something easy. Okay, so let's say, and we're going to want to change that scale. I think that's going to be too small as well. Okay, got a scale that seems to be working okay, but I'm not pleased with this view, so I'm going to go in and edit that in just a second here. Okay, I just reoriented the front plane of this part. Hopefully it'll work better now. If I hit a save, I forgot to hit the record button, but let's see what happens if I hit save and go to my window, go to sheet 4, and let's see what things look like now. Alright, that does not look right. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to delete that guy as well. So there, hopefully you drew your parts in the correct orientation. You can change them after the part, but let's just see what happens now if that part is updated. So this says the front view, and if I project out, yeah, that's what I wanted. Okay, so I did get the change I wanted. My scale is not looking too good. Go back and change that again. So I'm going to go user custom scale. I'm going to scroll to the top, user defined, and I'm going to make it 4 to 1. There we go. Alright, took us a while to get there. Alright, so just to review, we made an additional sheet, we oriented our part, and we placed our views that are needed. This part would probably get away with these two views, but that's okay. I do want to cover a little bit more with this, just in how you might go on about doing the dimensions. And notice that right now there's no material and weight as well. So let's see if we can fix that. If I go in here and open up this part one more time, if I go to properties and go to material and select material here as well, and then I go to properties and hit weight, and in this case we pick mass. He did assign it an alloy 1060, so that should be good. So now if we hit save and go back to our sheet, hopefully there we are. We've got our properties updated. Next order of business is putting some dimensions on here. Again, dimensions should go between the views when you can. They should go for the more descriptive views. This is a descriptive view here, so we can, well, I'm going to cover more later on with some dimensions, but I just want to throw a couple of simple dimensions in here. Well, that's interesting. This doesn't even give a value. What are we in? Should be here. Let's try that again. Alright, we'll put one in here. those are between views. It probably would look a little cleaner if I pull that off to the side. We can give our height and the center of that circle over here. So now notice these fillets are going to goof us up. If I go to pick this line, I'm not going to get the full height of this. So I'd like to get the full height. Put that guy out here. Come in here and get the location of our circle. We need the circle location this way as well. Don't want to make an assumption. And we need this dimension. And we need the size of this hole. Holes, remember, are given in their circular view, cylinders in their rectangular view. So we really don't need this view up here. I'm going to leave it up there for now. It's always fun to also put a isometric view in, and sometimes I will shade those views, so we can go over here and add a little shading. And those views, unlike the others, do not need to be lined up with the front view. Alright, what else do we need to add to finish this part? So we have an overall height, location, 2 location dimensions for that circle, diameter of that circle, the thickness of this. We're missing these little fillets here. So at some point we need to come in and I'm going to make an assumption that they're all the same. I don't know if they are, but I'm going to go ahead and say that they are. And we could come in here and say add some text and just type in TYP for typical. Alright, just to double check that. Let me check a couple of these others. Yeah, it is. Alright, so that pretty much completes that part. You may want to make sure you got the part name in there. Okay, you could throw that in here. That wraps it up.